Namaste and welcome to the Doll Diaries. I'm Sheetal, and if you watched my previous video on my weight loss journey, then I apologize because this video has been a while in the making. I don't want to babble on too much because in my previous video I was told that I speak too much and I need to get to the point, and that is what I plan to do this time. Just a quick disclaimer, as you'll be able to tell from the title, I am talking about weight loss, so if that is triggering for you in any way, then please stop watching. And as always, anything that I tell you should not replace what has been told to you by a medical professional. As I've mentioned, this video will be quite brief. I do want to go in depth in future videos because when it comes to losing weight or losing fat, however you see it in your weight loss journey, a big chunk, well, the biggest chunk is your mentality. But that's broken down into so many different stages. I won't go too much in depth in this video. I think in this video what I'll do is I'll just cover the overall basics, what I did, what did work for me, what hasn't been sustainable, and what I am going to do going forward, because I got back from holiday, what are we in now, June? I got back from holiday in April and it's been around 6 weeks, and to be honest, I'm not too happy with my progress or my lack of progress. I'll share more about that later on. So I'm not going to go through my backstory, my reasons why, my progress or numbers or anything like that. I will make other videos in which I go a bit more in depth because I think it can be helpful. I've watched other videos, I've learned about other people's stories that I have been able to relate to, and I've found it helpful, so hopefully you will too. But in this video itself, I'll just get into the basics. Keep a food diary. It doesn't have to be a diary as such, but start tracking what you're eating, because I can assure you even the smallest things that you feel may not be having an effect on you probably are. It all amounts to something. I was calorie counting at first, and to be honest, I became a bit obsessive about it, and it got to the point where it was just draining me. I was using an app, a very well-known app, MyFitnessPal, and the problem with that is not all the information on there is accurate. The only way you can really ensure that it's accurate is if you're logging it yourself. And what I mean by that is if you want to add a bowl of rice to your daily meals, there could be 5 different versions of the same amount of rice but come under different calorific values. It's almost like a Wikipedia. You've got everyone that uses that app inputting that information. So in that sense, it wasn't completely accurate. However, it did help me in that it gave me a general overview of how much I was eating, what was making it jump up, what I thought was quite harmless. But basically, I treat myself to maybe having a mini chocolate bar, which was something like 99 calories. And I thought, well, that's nothing, like a small snack. But it does add up, and there's nothing wrong with having a treat now and again, but for me, especially when it comes to sugar, I can become quite easily addicted, and so just tracking it helped me stay on course. Our bodies were never designed to sit still, so if you're not moving about, if you're not burning off any excess calories that you're eating, I say this very loosely, but if you look at it as calories in versus calories out, and by calories out, I mean what you're burning, not what your body is letting go of. That makes sense? Anyway, I say it loosely because it's not necessarily just calories. We do need to take into fact the nutrients that we're getting from those calories. So it's not black and white. However, just to simplify things, if you are eating more, you need to be moving more. And that's as simple as it is. But I am completely against the mentality of no pain, no gain. I don't believe in that at all. I found an exercise regime that I really enjoyed, and it was easy to stick to. It did work me. It was challenging, but it didn't hurt, and it should never hurt. And in case you're wondering why I stopped, I'll be honest, I got lazy. I fell out of routine, and it's still taking me a while to get back into it, but I'm getting there. But what I will say is just find something, some form of exercise that you enjoy. For me, honestly, I love dancing. I love dancing. I'm moving. It doesn't always have to be a rigorous amount of sets. I do weight training. I feel a bit indifferent towards it, as in I don't hate it. I don't love it. It's just, I know it's good for me. It will help, so I'll do it. And I'll do things that, again, that I find challenging, but not that I find painful. Right now, for me, I'm at a point where anything is better than nothing. And I'd say the same for you. You just need to get started. Get started rather than looking for perfectionism. I'm a perfectionist and it holds me back from so much, and it's a hurdle I'm trying to overcome. But if you're the same, just get out of the mindset that I have to have like a strict routine of doing this, and if I don't do this, it's not going to make a difference. It will make a difference. Just get started, because once you get started, it will be so much easier to continue. So just get moving. Dancing, cardio, weight training is a must, and it's not about bodybuilding, it's about building your muscle. You need muscle. Resistance, there are so many workouts. If you just have a look, that you'll find so many videos on YouTube. You can sign up to online classes. I used to really enjoy Pilates, and what I loved about it is I felt it work. It worked my core unbelievably, and I do want to get back into it. I will be honest in saying that I feel a bit intimidated because it's been a while, but again, that's me problem that I need to get over, and if I want to see results, then I will have to get over it. So yeah, just get your body moving. If you can do it with a friend, even better. I have started taking swimming lessons. If you like swimming, then that's amazing. It's probably, I think, the most holistic form of exercise you can do physically. Change your mindset about food. We need food. You can enjoy food, but don't demonize it and don't treat it like a reward, because those two things will set you back so much. The moment you label a food as off limits is most likely going to make you psychologically crave it more. It's also not the healthiest, especially if you're cutting out a major food group. There's a reason why they exist. Our body needs carbs, proteins, and fats, varying amounts, as well as those three are macronutrients. Our bodies need them for very different reasons, and we need all three, but we also have a whole load of micronutrients which your body needs as well. So you need a varied diet to make sure you're getting everything that you need. And you may have cut out one of those food groups and it could have worked for you, in which case I'm happy for you. However, for me, I have previously cut out certain, I've been on so many fad diets in the past, so many, and I'm so glad to say I'm done with them all. I'm finally at a place where I've learnt the wisdom of my ancestors. I've managed to combine that with science, and I've tuned into my own intuition. And I know there's no major food group I want to or need to cut out. I'm still making progress with my relationship with food, in terms of I used to suffer from an eating disorder, but I've come leaps and bounds, and I think two of the biggest lessons for me are, one, I mean, I'm immensely grateful that of all those fad diets and everything that I did, and not just diets, pills, like I don't even want to get into it, none of them have had a detrimental effect on my health. And two, I'm a mother, I'm a role model. I have to eat healthy, and I need to show my children what that means so that they can carry it on for themselves. Because if they see me restricting certain foods that I need, that they need, they may question why I'm doing it. And even if I tell them they shouldn't be doing it, their children, they will follow what they see, especially when they see their parents doing it, when they see people they idolize, people they look up to. I mean, to be honest, looking back, that's probably one of the biggest reasons I started dieting when I shouldn't have. Not because of what my mum fed me or what she fed herself, because my mum's had an amazing diet. Luckily, she has raised me on the foods that were passed down from my ancestors. But for me, the problem was what I saw in the media. I aspired to just follow in the footsteps of actresses and models and singers that I thought were just gorgeous. I didn't have a complex about my body when I started dieting. I did it because celebrities were dieting. This celebrity started this diet, so I decided I would do it because they were doing it, not because I had an issue with my body. Okay, I said I wouldn't do a backstory. I'm sorry, I'm going off. I'll cover that in another video. Anyway, what was I talking about? Yeah, so don't demonize your food, and also don't reward yourself with food, because again, you're taking away from the fact that food is a source of fuel. Start becoming more mindful when you're eating. I mean, start becoming more mindful with life generally, but especially when you're eating. Ask yourself if you want to eat it because you're hungry, or because you're bored, or because you're sad or upset, or if there's any other reason that you're eating other than being hungry. If you are hungry, then question whether what you're eating is the best thing you should be eating for you. There will be times where you don't have the option, you need to grab something quickly and it might not be the healthiest of choices. And there'll be other times where you're going out for celebration. But even when you're doing that, just question, do you really need to order all those dishes? Or can you perhaps share with someone? If you really want to indulge, then do it, but make sure you keep it to a minimum. Don't buy it. Don't buy it, because if you're anything like me and your willpower is not as strong as you want it to be, if you've got it in your home, whether it's the crisps, the chocolates, the breadsticks, the crackers, the biscuits, I'm just trying to think of foods that do nothing for you nutritionally. If it's in your home, you are most likely going to eat it, if your willpower is anything like mine. And I'm guessing it might be because you're watching this video. But anyway, if you need to, keep them far away, out of sight. I have them in another room. I know they're there, but for me, if I have to make an extra effort to get to the food, it kind of helps me question whether I truly do want it or not. I stopped weighing myself for a long time, thinking that I didn't want to have the mindset of losing weight. I just wanted to become healthier. But the issue with that was that I wasn't realizing when my weight was actually getting unhealthy. And it was only until my clothes started to become a bit more snug that I realized I needed to take control. And so take progress pictures. If you don't feel comfortable keeping pictures, then just note down. It doesn't just have to be your weight, because your weight can fluctuate. I tend to retain more water during my time of the month, as well as become bloated. So I try not to track around then, but I will use my clothes as well as the scales, and probably on a weekly basis, just to help keep me motivated. If you're not too self-conscious, then find someone or a group or a person, a friend or family member, a colleague, just someone that you can be accountable to or with. I've got a friend who was going on holiday at the same time I was during the Easter break. So we both decided to create a challenge. We were going to follow a challenge, but we created our own. It's very heavily inspired by the Soft and Hard 75, but we've done it so that it works for us. And it was great. We both kept on track. We improved. We had it so that we were reviewing it, I think, every 20 days. And it went brilliantly. Since being back from holiday, it's taken a bit of a backseat for both of us. And I didn't realize, to be honest, I wasn't putting that much effort into it. And when we were discussing it, she said that because she wasn't really that bothered. I didn't realize that I would have that much impact on her motivation. And I hadn't really thought about it, but possibly her lack of doing it, I wouldn't say was the core reason why I didn't either, but that possibly had an influence on me as well. But we have said that we'll start again, and this time I will actually share that journey with you, because that makes me accountable to you as well as her. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I have a very big birthday coming up in a couple of days, and I'm not health-wise, generally I feel great. I'm in good condition, but I'm not at my healthiest, I'm not at my fittest, and that is definitely something that I want to change. So I'm excited, I'm nervous, but I'm looking forward to it. This is a game changer. The moment I started romanticizing my weight loss, and by romanticizing, I basically mean do it in a way that entices you to want to do it. This will be different for everyone, because we all have a different idea of what we find romantic and what we find to be ideal. But basically for me, it was buying workout clothes that I thought were pretty and made me feel good, that were comfortable. It's about styling your clothes, your hair, the way you look in a way that makes you happy. When it comes to meals, when it comes to eating, to make them look appetizing. When I wasn't drinking enough water, to buy a new water bottle that makes me want to drink more. The best way I can say is just have a list of how you want yourself and your life to look in terms of your weight loss journey, and then start implementing changes so that you can do that. But yeah, I will go into how I did it for myself in another video, but I did say at the start that this was meant to just be a very brief overview. I feel like I've talked a lot now despite saying I was going to keep this video short. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. If there's anything in particular you want me to cover in future videos, I am going to be making a series of my weight loss journey. I will share the challenge that my friend and I created. So if you want to join me on it, then you are more than welcome to. Ultimately, I will say that whatever you choose to do, make it sustainable. And by that, I mean, make sure it is something that you can continue doing for the rest of your life. Because if it's not, the moment you stop, you will most likely gain back whatever you had living the way you were previously living, if that makes sense. Oh, and a final thing, I am a self-confessed foodie. You do not have to give up food that you love, I promise you, unless you love like deep fried oranges. Don't know why I said deep fried oranges, but I'm going to leave it there for now. And I will join you again soon. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.